Duduzane Zuma's lawyer has asked the court to discharge the case against him. Zuma, as you know, is on trial for culpable homicide for a fatal car crash in 2014. We've just been watching live from the court Advocate Mike Helens saying the state has failed to prove that Zuma was negligent. Our reporter Janke Tolmay joins us now from the Randburg Magistrate's Court here in Gauteng. The defence then, Janke, good afternoon to you, believes the charges need to be withdrawn. Why is that?
Well, just for clarity, Jeremy, they are applying for a discharge, and I was just asking someone exactly what the difference is between withdrawing charges and a discharge. A discharge is when the case has been heard by the court, it's started, and then they bring an application to say there's not enough evidence and they want the discharge, a discharge in the case. And that's exactly what we heard from Advocate Mike Helens just moments ago, where he said, while the state said there was an accident that happened, it was a rainy night, nowhere did they prove, according to the defense, that Duduzane Zuma was negligent, that there was any criminal element in his actions on that night. So they can say that there was an accident, but they can't prove negligence in this case, meaning he can't be held accountable for culpable homicide. And that's what we've been hearing from Advocate Mike Helens from the defense's side. And that was immediately after the state actually wrapped up after just 6 witnesses and less than a day of making their case.
Let's talk about those 6 witnesses then, Janke, if we can. The state closing its case after that appearance. What emerged then on that front?
Jamie, Malungela Boy has been in court, just joined me here, so I'm going to ask him to shed more light on exactly what those 6 witnesses, the case being closed by the state after just hearing 6 witnesses, but we heard from the defences they don't believe that this really proved the case. What did we hear from those 6 witnesses?
So shortly after the state concluded its case, the defence brought in an application for discharge. That's in terms of Section 174 of the Criminal Procedure Act. What essentially they're saying is that, well, the state has actually failed to prove its case altogether. One, they're saying that all the witnesses that were called to the stand, in fact, do admit that there was water on that road when the incident happened. And they also, though, admitted that they can't say how this accident happened. So this is what the defense is saying that at the absence of people saying that this is how this accident happened and how also they can't prove whether Duduzane Zuma was in fact negligent, then this man must be discharged. That's what the defense is asking for. And I suppose here, Janke, what we're going to hear we're going to hear the state opposing this application. But it's also quite interesting, having heard the defense's Mike Helens saying that, in fact, the evidence of some of the witnesses should not be even considered, because some of these state witnesses refused to answer some of the questions. I know one witness in particular who refused to answer some of the questions. In fact, she was very irritated when she was being cross-examined by the defense, and it was that witness who had actually told the court that she saw Duduzane Zuma's car speeding even before the incident happened.
So what the defence is basically saying, not only are these 6 witnesses poor, but it seems like there is actually nothing that they can pinpoint that Duduzane Zuma did that was negligent.
Exactly. In fact, what Mike Helens has said, he said that these witnesses proved that on that day there was water on the road, and they also can't say how this incident happened, which is actually quite key. And that's the crux of the matter here, Janke, that no one can say for certain how this accident happened. Here's also what the defense is trying to avoid by bringing in this application, is trying to avoid having Duduzane Zuma taking the stand. They're saying that the state wants Duduzane to take a stand so that he can incriminate himself. They're saying that that is illegal.
And now, just after around tea break, we saw that his father, former President Jacob Zuma, actually came just at the right time, just before this application was heard.
That's right. In fact, he came in very late, and a lot of us were surprised seeing him arriving that late. But even though he arrived late, proceedings continued, and after, short adjournment, though he was interacting with people, Duduzane Zuma is here being supported by his father, his sister, and some members of the BLF. But also, I must say, you can also see sitting in the public gallery the relatives of Phumzile Dube, who died in this incident.
Okay, and then just lastly, I understand we are now on a lunch break. What can we expect after this?
So the state is going to oppose, obviously, this application. We look forward to hearing what will they actually be saying. What are they going to say? Why should this matter continue, and why should Duduzane Zuma take to the stand?
Definitely getting a quite interesting inside court. Not only the state wrapping up their case after less than a day and a half, but also then the defense coming in, completely basically tearing the state's application or a case apart, saying that not only were the witnesses poor, according to his legal team, but also that actually there was no explanation given to what happened on that fateful night.